Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name is Mike Amos and his name is Bill Rice Jr. and it is a Monday before the big weekend of college football.
Well, we've been talking about it
excited.
for a year.
Of course, we're watching
Christmas coming back.
That's right. You're watching us on Facebook this morning, across the country, across the world, and of course, more is happening in this world than you can think of, hardly. With especially this huge storm that hit Louisiana. I can't see how Troy will play their football game. I mean, this storm hit right in the middle of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I don't see how anybody could have a football game with that kind of destruction back home. Do you?
Well, some of those teams pulled out before the hurricane and went to other cities.
I hope that. Yeah, I knew Tulane did.
And, I think LSU did.
I think they're playing out west anyway. You know, LSU's playing out.
But I don't. Could Southern afford to do that?
I mean, I would like to know that they would, but they were going to bring their band and everything.
It's in Baton Rouge, which was, I guess, literally in the eye of the storm at one point.
And it was quite a weekend, you know, with this hurricane, and then of course the things that are happening over in.
They ought to let Southern just come to Troy early, and we'll put them up.
Yeah, that's right. That would probably be the case. Maybe if anything happens, that probably would be the case. But hopefully things can clear out and clear up. But I don't see it anytime soon. And of course, tremendous damage in New Orleans, one of the major cities of our country, and boy, they got it hit again. You know, they wasn't that long ago that they got Katrina. Now,
16 years ago.
This one they claimed
to the day 16 years ago.
And they claimed that the storm today yesterday was harder than Katrina.
People forget that the storm damage in New Orleans was not bad from Katrina. I mean, the wind damage.
Yeah.
It was just the flooding that happened the day or so. And I bet you this did hit it harder with the wind because it was more because Katrina actually hit more over on the Mississippi coast.
Yeah.
And this hit.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, see, this hit a more populated area too than Katrina. Like you said, Katrina hit in that between those swamps of Mississippi and Louisiana. But either way, or whichever way we're saying the storm went, it was a devastating.
No power. I read that.
No power in a city like New Orleans. That's
the hot weather with 100 degrees, humidity. That's gonna be really unpleasant.
No question. Of course, we had a lot of high school football, and some big upsets happened in the early stages of the football season, and but most all of them got their games in. I don't see many forfeits, but there were a few, but I don't see of any in our area. And tell me about what you had to do. I know you had birthday parties and all types of things going on.
Well, I went to the rodeo Friday night and had a lot of fun. Appreciate the cattlemen and the cattlewomen for doing that. Took Maggie and Jack and a couple of her friends to the rodeo. And
they were 12 and under. They got in free, didn't they?
Got in free. That's right.
That's not a bad deal.
No, you can't beat that. And then
you'd like to have a rodeo every weekend, wouldn't you?
No, I supported them at the concession stand though.
Yeah, I bet.
Then Saturday we had a spend the night party. This is all part of Maggie's birthday festivities. You know, the birthday festivities go on for about 2 weeks.
And Maggie's 8, just turned 9.
10.
Oh, 10. Whoa, gosh.
But her birthday was on the 20th, so here we are, 10 days later, still doing birthday stuff for her.
Prolonged birthday.
But so the girls stayed up until 2 in the morning and giggled a lot, and but they had a lot of fun. And then yesterday we chilled out, and looks like Frank and Liz Fryer, my in-laws, are moving to Troy.
Wonderful. Frankie Fryer's coming back home.
I think they found the house they're going to get.
Good morning, good morning. Your own Troy Cablevision this morning. How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Where you calling from?
Rainy Great Beach, Florida. I definitely want to give my thoughts and prayers to everybody from Louisiana and Mississippi and even parts of Alabama. I tell you, I was just looking at the waves around here yesterday, and they're probably 8 to 10 foot waves.
Wow.
I can't imagine what those folks are going through. And then New Orleans, in total darkness, would have to be one of the creepiest places to be on earth.
Yeah, I know.
I am scared of what they're going to find today.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be sad. Mike, I don't see how they can play football this weekend. And can you see a team from Louisiana playing football this weekend?
Well, Baton Rouge was on the western side, and that's where Southern's located. But that did cross my mind several times that Troy's first game against Southern possibly could be. That's right.
That's right.
I will say, as of last night, when I was watching the coverage, if you looked at the rain and the wind, they didn't have near the rain because they were on that important western side of the eye wall. The eastern side is where all the winds and all the the horrible damage comes from and all the rain.
So actually,
maybe they all turn out okay. But now, as far as traffic and roads and stuff like that, as far as being able to travel, I don't know when some of these roads may be able to get past.
Well, and another thing, it's not just Baton Rouge. All these kids come from all over the place, and I can see them being more concerned with what's happened in their house with a storm than they are playing football. I'll just almost go ahead and tell you, I can't see how they can play football this weekend, Troy.
Well, it is a money game. So, I mean, I would imagine Troy's probably paying them $250,000 at least, maybe $300,000.
Yeah, and then the band was coming too. That's another thing. The band was coming. I hate it. I hate it, but I can see.
I actually thought at one time if Troy was going to see if Troy would reach out and see if they could get them somewhere closer, pay for hotels for 4 or 5 days. I know that's happened at UAB a few times.
We talked about that. They could probably find them dorm space, or they could come and stay in Troy.
They just tore down 2 dorms though at Troy, so
you can find some local high school that they can practice at, but.
That wouldn't be a problem. They're not going to play. They're not going to play. I guarantee you.
Stuff like this is bigger than football.
A lot bigger than football. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and tell you.
And it's not a huge game for Troy and Troy fans. I mean, it's Southern. I mean, you would expect to win that game by 40 points, I would think.
Well, I don't know if they'll beat anybody by 40 points, but let's just say this, and I hate it. I hate it because I'm looking forward to it. But I can't see them. I can't personally see them playing football.
If Baton Rouge is on the west side of the hurricane, and they might not have got as much wind damage. They might still have power in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So they might be.
So are you telling me right now I need to start looking towards Atlanta? You and I are going to drive over to that Alabama-Miami game?
We might can if somebody calls me up and says, Mike, I've got you 50-yard line seats with the all expenses paid.
I think with COVID going on, I think you can definitely find a ticket to that game.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see, won't it? If it's full.
I tell you what, Illinois had a great crowd when they upset Nebraska.
Nebraska stinks, boy. They stink. I hate to say that, but they stink. Boy, they're terrible, Mike.
They're the same story every time you watch them play. They lose a lot of close games and commit tons of turnovers.
And they try to rely on that quarterback. They run. If he wasn't playing in the game, they wouldn't have gained a yard. I don't believe.
Yeah, McCaffrey, Luke McCaffrey had beaten him out last year, and Martinez wasn't playing. I think that was the quarterback of the future, but then McCaffrey leads the program, so. I tell you, that's just a perfect example of it's just not going to work. I feel like you got to go ahead and make a move on Frost.
Yeah.
What? I mean, how can you be he was the coach in America, wouldn't you say, at Central Florida? hot coach. Could have had could have had any job, and then he gets his dream job at his alma mater, and it just goes like this. You just never can figure it.
No question about it.
Same almost with Harbaugh at Michigan, although he's done a lot better than Nebraska.
Yeah.
He's won some games anyway.
Now, I might not keep up with it like I used to, but I saw Auburn's depth chart, and I saw Alabama's depth chart. And I'm going to be honest with you. I bet you I didn't know 3 or 4 players on either side, period. Their names or anything do not ring a bell to me.
I looked at Auburn.
I hate to say that, but I just do not even know this Alabama lineup and this Auburn lineup.
I always knew Auburn's lineup good, being a big Alabama fan, but I kept up with Auburn, always have. But I was looking at their 2 deep, and I'm saying to you, Mike, I might.
But I'll say this guy
3 or
right
4 names on Auburn's team.
But I'll say this is Auburn's backup quarterback. He looks like could play for anybody in the nation, this quarterback. And he, of course, transferred from LSU.
He's just going to sit the bench at Auburn like he was going to sit the bench at LSU, though.
And in every mode of life,
he transferred to the wrong program. In
every mode of life, other than being the starting quarterback at Auburn, did this Finley take a back seat to anybody? He's a good-looking football player.
Great article on, for all you Troy people out there listening, great article on AL.com about Zach Efridge's, Zacchaeus Efridge's journey from Auburn player to becoming an assistant coach. Really good read, great story, and of course it talks about how he almost died on the field from that horrible broken neck. That he was paralyzed on the field. One of the more amazing stories. I'd read about that before, but to hear him talk about it, I mean, basically this doctor saved his life, and this player who didn't move.
Yeah, that's right.
Happened saved his life.
You remember that? They laid there for, an hour, I reckon, didn't they? It was unreal.
Yeah.
Before they got him off the field.
Hey, did they mention he was from Troy?
Yeah, they talked about Coach Fountain. How Coach Fountain, Auburn was his dream school, and Coach Fountain said, "We got to get you into camp so the coaches can see you." And talked about that and being raised in Troy. Apparently, he was more of a baseball and basketball player before he played football.
Yeah. Well, I changed his name. Everybody was calling it. Everybody.
Great story.
Mike, I gave him a great opportunity when I changed his name from Zacchaeus to Zach Efridge.
Hey, we got Coach Hambright just walked in the door. So
Coach Hambright, let me tell you
got
something.
some of these little 9th and 10th graders that were future Zach Efridges.
I tell you what,
I heard that was one of the biggest Charles Simpson crowds people have seen in a long time.
It was a big crowd. It was a big crowd, and all to celebrate the Trojans. They played hard, and we're going to talk to Coach Hambrick in just a few moments. And of course, this show is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy. I tell you, Jason, and all those great supporters of Charles Simpson football and all sports in our area. We appreciate those guys so much. We'll be back with Coach Hambright, the head football coach at Charles Simpson High School.
Have you been in the house way too long? Are you looking for great family fun? Do you want to get outside and try something new and adventurous? Then look at Butter and Egg Adventures in Troy, Alabama. Ages 5 and up can enjoy zip lines, climbing wall, aerial courses, outdoor laser tag, axe throwing, canoeing, pedal boating, and more. 2 or more people can make a reservation by calling 334-670-9954.
For those teachers out there, get your kids outside by bringing them to Butter and Egg Adventures in Troy, Alabama for a great field trip.
When Mitchell Nissan assembled the More Force to help the car buyers of Enterprise, we looked for the most powerful people to avenge the average deal. Like Twan kicking those high prices to the curb, and Truth bringing honest savings to the Wiregrass. Then I add our Customer Advantage package to every new purchase at no extra charge. Together, Mitchell Nissan is the More Force. More, it's what we do.
Forevermark Diamonds. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. Available at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas Station.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. Quinn Hambright, the head football coach at Charles Henderson High School, has dropped by to see us, and we're so pleased to have you today.
No doubt.
Of course, you coming off a tough game against one of the top. Listen, I'd almost say it was one of the top football teams in the state, but definitely the number one Class 3A team in the state. But those guys that you played Friday night, they could play for anybody. I tell you, they had something like 5 or 6 SEC prospects on that little on a 3A football team. What do you think?
Yeah, they Catholic is a well-coached team. They're very talented. Coach Austin said it best after the game. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot and so we can fix it, and so people can know we're the best doctors in the world. Just don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
You know, don't put yourself in positions to try to say, hey, I can get myself out of the position. But Catholic is a well-coached football team, and they have a lot of athletes.
Boy, they had. I mean, it was one of the best 3A teams I've ever seen. To tell you the truth,
they've done a really good job of recruiting.
Yeah, they have, and being at a private school, they can do that pretty much. You can't do that like he can do it, can you?
I get those homegrown guys, and those are the guys that you really want. The guys that are youth that love their school, and they're bred in their school.
It's sort of like this: you play with who brung you. You play with who brung you.
Yeah. So, but it was tough. You know, the score didn't reflect the actual game because Parker had a head injury, and after he got out the game, we had 5 turnovers.
Who is that you're talking
Parker
about?
Adams, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
did he actually leave the game with a concussion? So
no, he didn't have a concussion, but he was woozy. It was concussion protocol. You know, with the way head injuries are now, we wanted to take the best precautions.
And his backup came in there, and I thought he threw the ball pretty well. He's a young quarterback.
Is that Mazdell?
Yeah, Mazdell. Yeah.
Yeah, Bo came in. Threw first ball, was right down the seam, for about 20 yards, and he got trigger happy after that. He wanted to go get the deep ball and not go through his progressions. But Bo is a guy we know we're going to get out of him. He can throw a good fade ball. He can throw the ball down the middle.
But one thing about it, you got to develop a running attack. They just shut you down against the run, didn't they? They were real strong up front, weren't they?
Yeah, they were strong up front. They had a group of juniors and seniors that's been there before, that know how to fight through adversity. And our, like I said, we started three sophomores and 2 juniors on the O-line. We have to learn how to fight. In a boxing match, it's blow for blow. And when you go blow for blow for the first quarter, they scored 3 points in the first quarter.
I know. Your first quarter, I was watching the game from the south end zone, and I was sitting next to the superintendent, and I was glad to see her. She's a delightful lady and a great administrator at Charles Henderson High School, and she's got all the confidence in the world in you. And I thought everything about the game Friday night with the fans and the support, the band, the cheerleader, great cheerleader group. I mean, all of that combined. It was really quite a night that Charles Henderson could be proud of. I would have thought the gate was pretty good. I don't know if you get into that, but it looked like about 3,000 or more, probably.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't. I was so locked in. I looked back. I saw my wife and kids, and my mom, my grandmom. So that's literally the only people that I saw. And then after that, it was all football. So.
Well, I know this. They brought over 1,000 fans themselves. Yeah, counting the band and all the people that are involved with it. but anytime you see a big crowd from out of town come to a ball game, you know they must be good, or they weren't going to drive all the way down here and get beat, you know. But they do.
They got a good team.
Yeah, they sure do, and
we do too.
So other than Adams at quarterback, did y'all have any injuries?
Injuries, no. We had a few knickknacks here and there, but we got out the game pretty healthy. Like I said, it was a precaution for Parker. We have a region game coming up with Greenville, and it wasn't worth the risk.
And all they do is beat Blunt this weekend, so Greenville must be pretty good.
They beat Blunt 14-12. That's
yeah. So I have confidence in these guys, man. They're young, but they're hungry. We came to practice yesterday with I wanted to see how they respond from Friday, and the response was nothing short of great yesterday. They came in ready to work, and I mean it was like we need to get it together. I mean it was a, and I told Kirk, people look at me crazy. I said thank you, for that. Kirk is the head coach at Catholic.
I really believe this. I don't believe that it's as bad as Charles Henderson played than was how great their opposition was. I mean, their opposition was super outstanding football team. As you said, you played straight up in the first quarter, and I tell you what, there was a lick early in the game. You remember it, down on the goal line.
Tyrone Boyd hit him.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Tell me about Tyrone Boyd. How good is he? He knocked that guy a loop. I promise you. And a perfect heads up tackle.
Yeah, perfect head up tackle, wrapped up, ran his feet. How we teach it. He's a kid that he does not quit. He has a heart of a champion.
Right now, is he one of the leaders of your team?
Yeah, he's a sophomore, but he's
gosh.
Yeah, but he's definitely a kid that people look up to, even though he's a sophomore. He can jump out of the gym, can't he? I mean, he leaped up and made a couple of big catches. Yeah. He can go get it. He can go get it, and he's a kid that yesterday it was a mentality. When we dropped 6 balls. So they did 6 hills. Receivers did it. After these hills, quarterbacks, receivers, y'all on the field with me. And and we were done with practice at about 6:30. That's about 7:15. It was
I'll tell you this, something that you were not able to do. Now you tried to run straight at them, and I was sitting back in the end zone. I could tell there was some holes developing, but they filled them real quick.
Yeah.
They're the linebackers I think 3 of them are 3 linebackers off that team we were talking about. It were Division one talent. Just that linebacker.
Yeah.
So they were tough up the middle. You were not able to run off tackle like you did, or be able to run today like y'all did against Pike County because of their quickness.
Yeah, and we had 33 yards rushing, and At running back, it was a lot of stuff that, I think it was both. We have a sophomore and a freshman back there. The level of competition, I tell them all the time, you have to rise to the level of competition to get where you want to be. And, we missed a lot of holes. We missed a lot of bends. Parker did a good job in zone read of attacking that defensive end. And if the running back just either jump cuts and get north, he scores. But instead, he gets in there and, as we say back in the day, tipping in the hole, and forward lean. He laid down instead of having a forward lean. He squats 435 pounds.
Who is this?
My running back. I'm Zach Coleman. Zach Coleman. He squats 435 pounds. So he can run those feet forward, and that's the challenge that I feel that he's accepted this week that he didn't really kind of accept last week. He could have driven 3 yards and fell forward 3 yards. And it was the little things that.
Now you graded the film on these on this team. Did you have many that graded out the way you wanted them to, or what?
Yeah. At corner we had Corey Robinson played a pretty good game.
Number 5. What number is he?
Corey is number 12.
Okay, 12.
When you have a corner, you don't say his name much, and that's a good thing because he's doing his job. Cody Youngblood at corner played pretty well. He's the one that tipped the ball and they end up catching the ball going towards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So But you know,
great effort, and tipped and scored on it.
Yeah, tipped and scored. But Will Templin, you know, he played pretty good. He played.
Is that the middle linebacker?
Middle linebacker. Yeah,
Yeah.
he played well. He was where he was supposed to be. Zion Grady, he got the sack, the ninth grader. He played exceptionally well. We know what we're going to get, you know, out of some of our guys. Some of our guys just have to step up to the challenge. Like I said, boxing match is all about blow for blow, and we can't lay down when it comes to having a true boxing match with somebody.
Well,
I tell you what, Coach, because of Troy Cable, I can watch different games. I watched Enterprise against your old school, where your defense coordinator is Carver. And
yeah.
I tell you what, Carver had a lot of great athletes. You left a lot of good players when you came to Charles Henderson.
Yeah, they got a lot of good ones. You know, they call me all the time, and you know, they said, Coach, man, we miss you. You know, we want to play for you.
but just like you, they lost the football game, and of course, the Enterprise has got a pretty good team.
Really good Enterprise team, and they played them tough. They were only down by, I think, 8 or 9 going late in the fourth quarter.
Enterprise is being coached by a legendary coach from Florida. He looks like he's in 60 to 70 years. I don't know how old he is. It looks like he's been around for a while, but is at one time the most dominant coach in the state of Florida. And he's finally, after two, maybe 3 years, is bringing them around at Enterprise finally. But it doesn't, just like in your situation, it doesn't happen overnight.
No, it's one of those things where, you know, there's a lot of habits that this team has that, you know, and Rome wasn't built in a day, but it still became an empire. So, you know, I still feel that we have a great, talented team. Like I said, the score didn't reflect the actual game of how we played when I watched film, and ultimately, I really think that we still, you know, have a chance to win football games. I mean, it's one game. You don't have to be the best week one team. You know, you just have to be the best.
You know what? If your team can improve each week, I think you've won. You've had a great year. If you can coach this team to be better every week. And it's like he said, Rome wasn't built overnight, but they still won.
They became an empire for sure. So,
what do you know about Greenville so far? Are they a pretty senior, junior-laden team? Are they experienced?
They got a few transfers from the private school down there because of some situation that's going on. Because I know they had a lot of transfer to Pike Road. They had like 4 or 5 of their starters to transfer to Pike Road. So yeah, so and that was during the summer.
And they still beat Blunt out of Mobile, 14-12. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, they're a physical team. What I see from they're fast on the edges, they're physical up front, and it's going to be a tough one Friday.
Yeah, Ed Greenville always.
Is McClendon still their head coach? He's in there a while.
Yeah, he's still a head coach, and the kid never played football in his life. he was a golfer and stuff like that. Yeah, but he's done a great job of coaching, and you know, I was looking at the scores in Class 5A. Of course, you know, they beat Blunt 14-12.
Yeah, Andalusia lost.
Andalusia, you're right, lost to Fairhope, which is a good football team, a 6A team from Mobile. But I was looking at that. Of course, some other games to take a look at were Pike Road. Well, we will in a minute, but Pike Road shut out Calhoun.
Yeah,
Calhoun can't play with anybody right now. They're young too, aren't they?
Yeah, Calhoun is a team that I don't think they've won a game in the last 6 years.
Yeah, that's right. So, and then they Pike Road, who is loaded, it looks like this year, beat them 56-6. Nothing. They didn't score 56-0. But Coach. We look at Greenville, and of course, Ben played at Greenville, and you can go back, you know, this week and show them the film and show them what went wrong. Did you get pretty good understanding of what Greenville does? Have you looked at their film?
Yeah, they want to run the ball. They're going to run the ball a lot. You know, they're going to try to establish the run. They're going to try to hit us. try to lure us to sleep so they can try to throw a deep ball, in there. But they really want to run the ball for sure.
Are you still trying to play your guys both ways, or are you trying to set up a system where you've got a lot of players playing one way?
My goal here is to have one-way players. Right now, we have a lot of guys that aren't ready. We have a few guys that are a year away, but they have to start.
Yeah.
So and when we're in that situation, you have to put the best 11 on the field on both sides of the ball.
This week, did they come off the ball pretty good? Did they, did they stand them up?
What you talking about? Us?
Your team.
We got stalemate at the line. We weren't running our feet. Our hands weren't inside. We weren't driving them off the ball. And it was all things that we coach them up to do. Like I tell them all the time. Like I'll get on my coaches if they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
But when I know that you're coached up in your technique and what you do, then it becomes an issue for me.
I didn't see, of course, I was watching from the end zone. I didn't see any indication that you did not line up right with most every time. I thought you lined up pretty good.
Yeah, we were outflanked a few times. Like I said, I was telling the coaches up top, those are, you're up top. It's just like a video game. When you're watching it up there, you can see everything. And when you're when you're outflanked, like in some of those cases where they was hitting us on the outside zone, from the sideline, it's kind of hard to tell. But we have to, in certain parts of the game, we were misaligned on defense, in which the reason why we were getting gashed.
Of course, Cobb, their great runner, is just a junior, and he's going to be on everybody's list next year as a recruit. He's a very good football player.
Yeah, he's a few Division I officer already.
I've never in my life have remembered Montgomery Catholic being this good in football. Have you, right? I know you lived in Montgomery for several years too, but the last 2 years were the best 2 years I've ever had, isn't it?
Yeah, you never heard of Catholic, but you are now, boy.
Yeah, they're really good. Who is their coach?
Kirk Johnson.
Do you know him pretty well?
Yeah, we played football.
Yeah.
So is he a first-year coach?
Yeah,
other coach leaves?
No, it's the second year, Mike, or third year. What is?
Wait, first-year head coach.
Okay.
He's been there for about 8 years.
Where did their head coach go?
Benjamin Russell.
Oh boy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
he moved up pretty big.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, he went to Benjamin Russell.
They got beat, but not bad,
Yeah.
Talking about Benjamin Russell, we're going to be giving you the scores of all the high school games in our area in just a few moments. Coach,
Coach, I'm impressed. I talked to a couple of buddies of mine. They said it was a great crowd, so that's good that we're getting looks like people coming out and supporting Charles Anderson football. So hopefully we can keep that up.
Yeah, and I was
football game.
Yeah, I was very impressed too. And Coach, you're doing things the right way, and of course that's what old Chan Gailey always said. As long as you're doing things the right way, you're heading forward.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
That's very important.
We're definitely heading forward.
Yeah.
We.
And I thought, let me tell you something. I thought your kicking game was pretty good. I thought your punter kicked it pretty good, and he kicked some further than others. But I thought your kicking game snapping, and they snapped just one over the head. That was the only one.
Yeah,
but your center had a little bit of a problem, but once he got adjusted, he was fine, wasn't he?
Yeah, we even on that first drive, we're driving the ball down, and it's third and short. And the ball goes over the quarterback's head. He falls on it, and then the very next play, the ball goes over the punter's head.
Yeah.
So the field position battle was bad on our end.
Yeah.
When you give somebody, a team like Catholic, less than 50 yards to score, almost every single drive, that's hard.
Yeah, you were backed up the whole time.
Yeah, we were backed up.
And like you said, I'll tell you exactly what you. We were moving the ball down the field, then had a snap over his head, lost 20 yards, but you were moving in their territory early in the game, and I thought it was a very positive drive, and then it started. They had a couple of bad snaps.
Right. It was. we were definitely on the. I think we were, and even if we don't get that first down, we can pin them back.
Yeah.
And now we've changed fields, and now turns it to us instead of having a 70-yard drive to a 40-yard drive. And those 30 yards matter.
They're linebackers, and they didn't play a lot of people both ways either. They
for a 3A school, you don't see that.
No, that's right. And they were all players. Both their defensive ends were college prospects.
Yeah, they're twins.
Oh yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
And let's just say this: you ran into a buzzsaw, and now it's time to look at another buzzsaw, Greenville.
Yeah.
And you play in Tiger Stadium in Greenville. You ever been there?
Yeah, I've coached at Greenville.
Yeah. So you know it's a tough place to play.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You can't see the ball. Their lighting is not the best in the world.
How many times you been to Greenville?
Oh, no tell it. No tell it.
I coached against them at Carver the last 3 years. I coached against Greenville. Yeah, so.
I have been there several times, and that's what I remember about Greenville is a hard-hitting team. But I've seen some physical Troy Greenville football games.
You really have. Let me tell you this too. You remember the great player that played at Auburn?
Tommy Powell?
The defensive player.
Marlon Davidson?
Yeah, Marlon Davidson. He was actually from Carver and Greenville stole him away from y'all, didn't he?
Yeah, we stole him, and then Greenville got him back. He was at Greenville, and then transferred to Carver, then it was
and when he was at Carver, everybody was saying this is the best player that's come around this part in a long time, and he
was a grown man. I mean, when I saw him in his sophomore year, he had his brothers. His brothers played for Auburn.
Yeah.
His brother Auburn jumpsuit on. I was like, "What year are you at Auburn?" He said, "He talked with a lift. I'm the sophomore coach." He said, "I'm a sophomore coach." I said, "Sophomore in college." I'm in 10th grade. I said,
that's like when I saw Cornelius Griffin for the first time when he was a sophomore or junior in high school at Pike County High School. I said, this is not a high school football player, a rookie NFL football player.
I always tell Cornelius, I said, you'll never find a shirt that'll fit you, especially in the neck. Yeah, I never saw a neck, but until I saw the great one from Troy that played for Troy. Played with
Tampa Bay, Steve McClendon.
Steve McClendon had the biggest neck I've ever seen. We were looking at this helmet the other day, and I don't know how much, probably weighs 25 pounds, probably the helmet does. I've never seen anything like it. If you can't have a big neck by wearing that helmet, you can't get one. Y'all don't even worry about doing neck drills, do you?
Nah, because it's godly, man. That helmet.
That's the heaviest helmet I've ever seen.
They try to make them lighter, but more, I guess, efficient for concussion.
We're talking to Quinn Hembree, right, the head football coach at Charles Henderson. Of course, your first year as a head coach, and you run into a buzzsaw like this. I don't think you're going to play a better team than you played Friday night. Greenville's going to be pretty good, but not as good as that team that you played Friday night.
No, Greenville's going to be tough. We're in a tough region, and games like that is what you're going to see. Teams like that are what you're going to see in the playoffs. Yeah. So I'm all about playing tough teams during the year to prepare us for the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be fun and to watch you develop, Coach. And like we said, just one game at a time, and get ready to see these kids grow, and they grow. Now, I coached for a pretty good while, and I can remember many players that I coached that on one day at practice, he gained his confidence as a young man, and as a man, when the lights went off, he makes a big play at practice, and he changes forever in his confidence and
that's all it takes.
And a whole aspect of his football ability. And your players develop overnight.
Yeah.
And you say, well, God, where did this guy come from? And he was a great player probably for the rest of his career.
Yeah, and I feel it. I feel it. I have all the confidence in these kids. They've realized that they can do the things that they've always been doing to get different results.
Yeah. And you make them hard-nosed, but they're still young kids, 14, 15, 16, and hopefully no 14-year-olds, but 15, 16-year-olds that are growing up and to be men, and
Sounds
they'll
like we
and
got-
they'll
we
be
got
men.
plenty of 14-year-olds that are playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one 14-year-old. He's 6'4", 220 pounds.
I know it. How did he do? Play pretty good?
Yeah, Zion Grady, he had a sack. He had a sack, a tackle for loss, and 3 solos.
Well, good.
So
That's
he's,
great.
Like I said, he's a man child.
Well, you learn, like we said, you learn as we go. And, of course, Charles Henderson with a big game this weekend at Greenville. And, of course, there'll be, you'll head out there, pregame meal at the school, and head back over about, what, 4:30 or 5 o'clock? What time are you thinking?
We'll probably leave here at about 4. To get there, I like to get to the stadium at least an hour and a half, 2 hours before, so we can settle down, you know. And I don't think they have. Last time we went, we had to get dressed in another part because they don't have visitor locker room.
Yeah, I remember the bus is parked behind the school, behind the playing field, and it's not as good a situation as you'd like, but.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna have good weather. It's actually going to cool off.
The last 2 days,
Low 60s this week.
Yeah. You know, Tiger Stadium in Greenville is not the prettiest place you'll ever go to watch a football game. Now, they've got a brand new school in Greenville 4, 5, 6 years ago, maybe 7 years. They built this brand new school, and why didn't they build a new stadium when they do it? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Let's go to...
They have an indoor practice facility, too.
Yeah, they do. It's nice, too.
We got a call coming in. First of all,
we might need to go to commercial.
That's what we're going to do, Coach. Again, we appreciate you coming, and you're going to come every Monday morning. Is that right?
Yes, sir. No doubt.
And then, listen, this young man, ladies and gentlemen, is a leader, and every time you walk out on the playing field, you're going to get better as a coach, and they're going to get better as a team, and we're going to see. You know, if your team gets better, that's the key to your coaching.
No doubt. No doubt.
Good luck, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Coach, good luck. And remember, we need the support of the Trojans as they do battle with the Greenville Tigers in Greenville this Friday night. We'll be back to more of Today in L.A. after this.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Did you know at Wireless Sandals Strut Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wireless Sandals Strut Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wireless Sandals Strut Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wireless Sandals Strut Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today.
Forevermark Diamonds. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. Available at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
10.
Back to our show, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy, Alabama, where they've got the best sales going on of their entire year. And of course, hey, if you watch the car dealer, as far as great deals on new and used cars and trucks, you'll have to watch it again, because this week is even bigger than we've had before. So Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks is ready for you to come see and drive a wonderful vehicle today. Of course, we've got a lot going on here, and of course we've been talking.
That was a great end to a golf tournament yesterday. Did y'all watch that playoff?
Will, what'd you think?
I watched the whole tournament. I watched all of it all day long. I was
pulling hard for Doug Barron.
Yeah, he just could not make a putt yesterday, and you know, he had a good chance to win too. But
that's a different.
Joe played a great round. I played with Joe and his son about 3 or 4 months ago, and he's been in Huntington.
Yeah.
He's been in a slump.
Well, let me ask this now. He was playing in a different tournament now. Let's don't confuse people now.
All right.
No, we're talking about the senior tournament.
Yeah.
Senior tournament.
Well, I mean, you were watching the Shambo. The Shambo. What do you think about him?
I watched both of them too. The Shambo choked. I mean, he missed several putts that could have won it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was
several chances. And on the last hole, he had an 8-footer and doesn't even hit the hole with a putt. You know.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Cantley has no emotion whatsoever. That dude's like the Terminator out there.
Now, is he American Mike? He was wearing his Boss gear, I noticed.
Yeah, he's from California kid.
Yeah, I tell you what, he was good, and a lot of people think he's the best young golfer out there.
He's about 30.
What he did.
That's pretty young.
In Hartford, he shot a 60, and he was an amateur.
My gosh.
In the pro tournament.
Yeah. I didn't see the money breakdown, but it was supposed to be over $2 million, wasn't it? How much did these guys get?
A bunch.
How about Bernard Longer, Will? He's 64 years old. He shot his age, came in second, 1 stroke off going into a playoff. I mean, that's pretty incredible what he's done on the senior tour.
Oh, he's a great golfer. He would be one of the all-time great golfers of all time, I would think. Wouldn't you think?
Especially on the senior tour.
He's won 40. He's won 40 or 41 senior tournaments.
Is that a record? That's got to be.
No,
Hell Irwin's got the record.
All right. Okay.
He's close. You know.
But
he and Hale Irwin, yep, they both dominated the senior tour.
Will, I don't know how they could even see last night at the end of that playoff. It had to be really dark out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's in Michigan, though. I don't know.
Well, now as we get ready for the big week of college football, and I've been raving on Auburn. It looks like they're going to definitely go with Bo Nix, and of course, deservingly so. But this backup quarterback is about as impressive looking as anyone I've seen lately. And here this guy is. Is he 6'7", Mike? How tall is this kid?
TJ Finley's 6'7".
6'7", and he is the backup at Auburn. And what do you think, Will? What do you give us your outlook on the weekend?
Well, I just think the games that were on Saturday were horrible. They weren't the 2 or 3. Now this week, I think there's 5 or 6 games with top 25 playing each other.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yep.
For the first game, that's really good.
Yeah, you guys are welcome on that UCLA winner I gave you.
Thank you. I use that. I appreciate it.
On which one now?
Did they cover?
Oh, did they cover? They were up 44-3 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, I knew they were giving up a bunch of points, but
Actually, they were only giving up 17.5.
Oh boy.
That's not bad.
On UConn over UConn, is that right?
No, Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii. What was that score?
44-10 was the final, but UConn got beat 45-0 by Fresno.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking, too.
And, Michael, I'm going to tell you something. UCLA's going to have a good team. They got 20 starters back from last year, and they lost 4 games by 6 points or less last year.
They're going up against UCLA LSU this weekend. Is that right?
LSU's probably favored, but I like UCLA in the game.
You know, somebody told me LSU had to move to another venue to get away from the storm. What's the deal there, Mike?
I'm sure. I mean, it was just in case.
Tulane moved to Birmingham. Tulane is working out in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would imagine LSU probably went to Houston or somewhere in Texas, I would believe.
And I don't believe, if I'm still betting, and I hate to do this, but I just cannot see Troy playing a game this weekend against a team from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Can you, Mike?
Well, they're not playing there.
Yeah, but still, you know, they just think what these kids.
Mike made a good point, though. You always follow the money.
Home.
If that team is supposed to get a check for $250,000, I think I would figure out a way to make it Troy.
Yeah, I know.
I tell you what, Jacksonville State's getting a lot of respect against UAB. They're only a 14.5-point underdog.
Yeah.
On scores and odds right now. So that game will be able to be bet on out in Vegas.
Yeah.
And Michael, isn't that game?
No, they won't. They won't bet it. Mike, they don't take a Division I AA line.
They do lines on any games they want to do.
Well, do they have a line on it? You said?
Yeah, I said 14.5.
Okay.
It's on scores and odds right now. Over under 47.5. That game's in Montgomery. Will it's the Johnny Williams game on the.
Okay, all right.
Of course, it's played on Wednesday night, and it should be. I'm gonna go to it. It's gonna be a pretty good game. You want to come through here?
The weather's gonna turn a little cold this week. It's gonna be a lot nicer.
Oh, really? And of course.
Is that this week, Mike?
Yeah, oh yeah, this Wednesday night.
The next night I'm excited too.
I'm gonna be at the beach all week.
You going to the Yellow House or what?
Yes, I'm doing my vacation.
And you're going to be at the Yellow House, the old, okay. Well, let me tell you this.
I tell you what, it's been nice down here for a couple of weeks. Finally, everybody's left.
Yeah, I was telling everybody and the brother, and you know, that I almost lost my entire house with a flood. Busted pipes, and I had 3 inches of water in my entire basement, and that runs 3,500 feet or more, and everything was underwater, including my jukebox and all that. And so I lost all of my basement, you know, and we had to gut the whole place. We've already tried to gut it. Now I'm working, and my wife's working her heart out, and of course.
You got to replace the drywall?
Well, that's part of the drywall we're going to replace. And then upstairs, about the same way.
You got stuff upstairs too?
Oh yeah. It was. That's where it started. It started upstairs in one of my master room bathrooms, and it busted. The pipes busted. If thank goodness for Troy Cablevision, or thank goodness for our alarm system. We're laying there asleep 2:30 in the morning on Friday morning, and we get a call from a guy from Nashville or somewhere in the Tennessee area telling us, or telling the people in Troy, that there is a problem. A siren just went off at a house in Troy, Alabama, and it turned out to be my house. And but if they had not contacted us, and the water went all the way till Monday, that's when we were going to go home on a Monday. What is that, 4 or 5 days?
Destroyed your whole house.
It would have almost destroyed my whole house with all that water.
You would have lost your
Finally, the first thing the fire department did was turn off the water in my house, but it was already 3 inches deep. But like you said, if that alarm system here at Troy Cablevision had not gone off.
Your house,
you're
right. I mean, if you have water running nonstop for 40 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, what
right,
damage
exactly.
are you going to do?
But we were down Thursday.
That's why you have insurance.
Well, hey, Mike, that's why the insurance is, they don't get them wrong now. Hey, they gonna pay only what they need to pay, and that's what's scary.
Well, the rest of the story is I was down in this condo and it got struck by lightning and caught on fire, the elevator shaft. And I had to race my kids and my wife down 6 floors of steps.
Well, you went down the regular steps, yeah. And
that happened literally 24 hours later.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we probably could have lost everything we had.
Both houses.
Yeah, we were fortunate on that too. And then Mike goes home and he's got flooding at his house. But you know,
I had flooding in Grady. A lot of fun.
That's probably. We hope there's not flooding.
But this, I mean, but then listen, I'm telling you about all this horror, but just think of all the horror these people in Louisiana are going through right now. You know, finding they're waking up and they don't have anything anymore. You're right. And
it was 155 miles an hour when it hit. Came ashore. Yeah. But then, I don't know if y'all watched it yesterday. I was watching it. I mean, it was over land for 5 hours and was still in Category 3.
Now, are you going to try? I want you, Will, to be a part of our picket week, and we start our picket weeks this week, and we'll have a crew here on Friday mornings to pick football games, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Auburn, of course. I've said all preseason long that Auburn's going to be much better than people think. But the paper this week had Auburn going 7-5, and that surprised me a little bit. I think Auburn's going to be better than 7-5. I think they'll be at least 8-4. What do you think about that?
I think.
Well, hey Mike, the last time I was down at Gulfport, I made a bet on Auburn this year. Their win total was 8, and I went under 8.
Oh, I would have.
I tie. If it's 9, I lose. If it's 7 or below, I win. So.
Well, their win total must have gone up because it was at 6.5.
I would have taken them. I would have taken them at 6.5.
Alabama's 19-point favorite against Miami now.
Yeah.
Michael, I also bet over 5.5 on Florida State.
I like those win total bets. They're fun. If you scout out the teams.
Guess what the total was on Alabama this year?
11.5. I've looked at it.
11.5. They've got to go undefeated.
Yep.
For you to win if you bet against.
So in other words, you're just betting if Alabama going to lose one game. Which actually, if you look at Coach Saban's tenure, almost every year Alabama loses one game. So
it's only going undefeated twice.
Yeah.
Auburn's 36.5 against Akron.
Well,
that'll be a massacre.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I tell you what, I'm kind of leaning towards Central Florida on Thursday night on ESPN. They're only a 5-point favorite at home against Boise.
I like that too.
Boise's got a new coach.
Yeah. Parsons at Auburn, and they hired the defensive coordinator away from Oregon.
Now, do you think that Malzahn completely changed the offense? Because Central Florida had a great offense and really good quarterback. I mean,
yeah. Well,
he's gonna run his stuff that he always runs.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you this. How about this? Backup linebacker Quandarius Robinson got caught DUI. There's an Alabama football player out there drinking, and while the rest of his friends are back at the dorm asleep.
Yeah, you think don't you think that half the team was probably out there drinking where he was?
11 p.m. He had no business up at 11 p.m. in the morning.
He's running about 34th string, though.
Mikey's innocent until proven guilty.
Okay. But they did. The problem
was
was
DUI. He was driving. It was a bad wreck.
Three-car wreck.
Three-car wreck with severe damage. Nobody was hurt, thank goodness. But
and then his
when
bond
I see
set
this,
up
I think it was
$1,000.
Saturday night. So a week before the first game, you got a player going out that's getting drunk as heck. And I guarantee he's not the only player that's out wherever he is drinking, getting drunk as heck. It kind of raises some red flags.
The best thing that you can see that he was not much of a player. He was a backup scout team
but
type
behind
player.
Some great players, though.
Yeah, I know.
He's a big-time 4-star recruit out of Jackson Owen.
Oh, yeah.
Team to build.
Well. If I was him, if I was Alabama, I would say hit the road, Jack. We don't need you.
Well,
I had Jackson Hole and met him with the head coach there when I was in the sporting goods business. When he was a ninth grader, and LSU had already offered him.
God.
He was already 6'4" then. But I was watching him lift weights, and that kid was so strong. But he probably only weighed at the time. Like 210 pounds. He's probably about 270 now.
Boy, we got all kinds of predictions.
Well, you got to watch these young guys that get DUIs. I remember a young guy at Alabama that got a DUI, and his name was Mac Jones.
Well, Mac Jones has never had a DUI. No way.
He did, yeah.
You mean it's on his record?
I don't know if it's on his record, but he got one about the same age as this kid.
Yeah.
So you can't write him off. I mean, he's. And plus, he's going to talk to Will. The law system is going to punish him severely with fines and jails and misdemeanors. I don't know why the football team has to punish him as well as the court system.
Boy, oh boy.
Looks like the volleyball team dropped their first game to Ole Miss. The Ole Miss Black Bears came over and beat Troy 25-23, 25-10, and then 25-22.
Those are two real tough games. When Troy really was right in there on all of it, weren't they?
Yep.
Well, they got beat 25-10, one of them.
Yeah, I know, but the other two were very good. Now we could have gone to see that, and I watched the Charles Simpson football game. I probably should have gone over there and watched some of it, but I didn't. Now tonight.
How was the radio? Did you go to the radio?
No, but it was very nice, and Rice went to it. Rice.
It was great. Yeah, we had fun.
Rice.
I took a bunch of little girls and my son and watched all the Cowboys do their thing.
Oh boy! I tell you what, these kids had a great time if they had gone to anybody that got to go to the Rice birthday party, because he had it laid out perfectly. Well, I tell you this, Frost, I really thought that Frost would be handed his going away present after what happened Saturday. I mean, they were not good. It was not. I mean, Nebraska is not even near what they used to be, especially in the offensive line.
Same position Auburn was in. They got paid him $20 million to get rid of him.
Oh gosh, so we know the rest of the story, don't we?
They'll never do that. They'll never do it.
Yeah, the rest of the story, no question about it.
I tell you, Brett Billman, though, I mean, I was impressed. I mean, that was his first game as a head coach at Illinois and won in years. And I tell you what, his guys played really hard, though. So, he might turn that program around.
I think he will, Michael. I think that's the type program. He's a Big Ten guy. He was a misfit at Arkansas, but he was a disaster at Arkansas. But I tell you what, in the Big Ten, he knows how to win in the Big Ten.
Yeah, didn't his quarterback get hurt and he had to play a backup most of the game and still won?
He did, yeah.
Well, but now I don't have the actual breakdown of who's playing who this weekend, but we'll get that in a minute.
I've got all the games.
Well, I'm intrigued by this LSU-UCLA game. Isn't that this Saturday?
Yeah.
What was the LSU score over Hawaii? What was it? I mean, the UCLA score.
44-10.
40.
So that one, boy, that was two teams that I would have thought would have won. I could have won if I'd played, but I didn't play.
UCLA's got the running back that transferred from Michigan. He was a California kid, so he was able to, with the transfer portal, be able to play immediately. He ran for 100 yards on 6 carries.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
They didn't play him the rest of the game. He just played the first half.
Yeah, I saw where UCLA got up big early. That game could have been a lot worse. I'm sure he called off the dog.
Dan, I will say I saw this. I've never seen this before in a Division I game by a coach. But Chip Kelly wore shorts.
Oh, did it? Oh, and don't you know his team loved it? Boy, Chip Kelly now, he can score now. That's going to be a great game.
I have never seen that either. So that is, thanks for pointing that out. I hope it doesn't take off.
Exactly. Mike, before we get away from all of this, give us a little...
Dad, I forgot to tell you, I saw a celebrity fighting. I was at the grocery store down here, and I was... with my wife, we were trying to get out in the rain yesterday, and I saw this huge guy with a beard, and I saw he had a little child, and I saw his blonde-haired wife, and it was the folks from the hometown show. They took over with Hunka.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you saw him.
The hometown show out of Laurel, Mississippi, called Hometown.
That's right. They've been in Wetumpka. They've been in Wetumpka all this time.
Yeah, Ben and Aaron Napier, but they were, I guess, leaving the storm. I guess maybe they have a place down here, and that guy is a monster. I mean, he has got to be 6'5", 300 pounds, but he looks like a big old football player.
Yeah.
And I saw them when I was out shopping yesterday.
Did you say hello?
Yeah, I said hello. I told him to watch the show. He's real nice, but that show has got some of the biggest ratings throughout the country. They're extremely popular.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've got all these spin-off shows.
Yeah.
But
Michael, is he related to the Louisiana coach?
I don't know, but he met his wife at Jones Community College. I was reading up on them, and then they finished at Ole Miss.
Yeah. But we got a local guy, Mike, that is from there. And where did you say he was from in West Mississippi?
Laurel, Mississippi.
All right, Laurel, that's where our buddy is from.
Where Jeffcoat's from?
Yeah, that's where Jeffcoat is from. Billy Jeffcoat. I bet they know each other.
Mm-hmm. So that show is extremely popular.
Yeah. Quickly, a little baseball, Mike. You let us know what's happening in baseball.
The Braves won 2 out of 3 from San Francisco. He's got the best record in baseball. So the Braves I think they're still 4 games up on the Phillies, which is good.
How many games we got left, Mike?
I think it's around 34 or so.
Oh boy, still can't get rid of baseball. Well, how about? I know that a lot of people say, "Well, I totally like the Braves," and all that.
This is the guy that used to be able to name every baseball.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Major leagues.
But the Yankees are the team that have been playing so great. They're now 76-54.
Yeah.
They'll make the wild card.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay looks like they'll win the American League East. The the White Sox are running away with that. They're up by 10 games. Houston Astros are playing great in the West. The Astros have been better in the
National League, American League. You're right. Yeah. Do you know?
Braves are 4.5 up on the Phillies.
Yeah.
The Brewers are 8.5 up on the Reds, and San Francisco is only 2.5 up over the Dodgers. I'll tell you something. San Francisco is 84-46. Los Angeles is 82-49. So that's still a great race.
Sure is. Well, there's a lot of good baseball left. Something I do say that I was pretty good at. Every team in the American and National League back in the old days had a great center fielder. Their best player was a center fielder, like Mickey Mantle with the Yankees, Duke Snider with the Brooklyn Dodgers, Willie Mays with San Francisco, Richie Ashburn with Philadelphia.
Joe DiMaggio for the New York Yankees.
Joe DiMaggio before Mantle. But it goes on and on. Billy Burton for the Pittsburgh Pirates. the center fielder was Pena. Well, let's see, what's his name? Of Cincinnati. I was thinking of him, but all of these people were great players back then. And I'll give you a rundown of them one day before long. But it was always fun to watch them play. Jim Landis with the White Sox.
You're supposed to be strong
great
up
center
the middle.
fielders.
You
That's
had
right.
A good shortstop, a good second baseman, and
You're
a good
exactly
catcher,
right.
and you're okay.
You're right.
Strong
Exactly
up the
right.
middle.
Exactly right. No question about it.
You better have in youth baseball and high school baseball. You better have a good catcher, or you're going to give up a lot of.
How about
runs.
with Cincinnati, Veda Pinson? You know, with Cincinnati, and the K-Line played right field, and Rocky Calabito played right field for who? Do y'all know?
He played for the Cleveland Indians.
He played for the Indians?
No, Detroit Tigers. And then K-Line would play with the Tigers, and Calabito played with the Cleveland Indians and the
position did Dale
Calabito.
Murphy play?
Dale Murphy played center field.
He originally played catcher. They moved him to center field.
Yeah.
You don't see that happen every day,
No,
do you?
exactly.
Catcher to center field.
Of course,
How long was the Detroit minor league team in Montgomery? Didn't they have the AA team in Montgomery?
The Rebels forever.
Yeah, the Rebels, and their center fielder was, I can tell you, years and years ago.
So is that where Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker?
That's where all of them came, and you know who the catcher, their coach was, don't you?
Manager was Jim Leland.
Jim Leland was the coach. We're about to go out of time, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you know Jim Leland was Brian Meadows' first coach for the Marlins?
Yeah. You know, and of course he was a great coach, and he had a lot of local people. Everybody knew Jim Leland. He was friends with all the guys that got burned up in that fire, the Dale's Penthouse fire. All those guys were good friends of Jim Leland.
One of the deaths was, I
That's
think,
right.
the sports editor
That's right.
advertiser's wife or something.
And he sure was, and that was a sad doing. We'll talk about that one day.
I did a big story on it. It was.
Of course, Bill Rice and I are waiting the people with a great weekend of college football. And tomorrow, what we're going to do?
Get your tickets.
We'll go over the scores.
Mike thinks that we might not play, but we haven't heard any official
I don't
word.
know, and I hope it's not the case, but I just cannot see it. If they've got damage.
I'm sure Toledo University will have to release something by tomorrow.
I know it. I sure hope they'll be able to play.
Kids Day, Kids Festival. It's the Letterman's Day. Hallstadty was at the rodeo.
Exactly. Hallstadty is the best. He's the best.
Credit to Coach Hambright coming on the show too.
Hey, classy. You're a class act. You're right.
If you get beat
Hey, you know what I'd be telling me? Said, don't you dare tell me, to say anything about what's going on. but not him. Look here.
I'll say I didn't watch the game, but one of these twin linebackers for Catholic sounds like a Lawrence Taylor in high school. I mean, it was big time. He had about 3 sacks, lots of tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He was obviously somebody that was just completely unblockable.
Did you see this picture of the Memorial Stadium in the Dothan Eagle? What a beautiful color picture of the stadium, and it's one of the best. And then there's that quarterback again. More people are talking, and Mike, he's not far from being the starting quarterback at Auburn. I mean, this guy's pretty good, and he might be pushing a little bit, don't you think? He's 6'7", weighs 230 pounds, and can run like a deer, they say.
And throw it probably 70 yards.
And so, I mean, hey, don't but at the same time, though, Auburn's in pretty good shape with a quarterback, I think. Would you say Auburn was in better shape than Alabama is at quarterback? What do you think, Rice?
No, I'll take Bryce Young over Bo Nix.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow talking the same good old football talk, and we'll look forward to seeing you bright and early for Today in L.A. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have you been in the house way too long? Are you looking for great